Hi, I'm Kylie, and for my 2010 project, I decided to eat gluten-free. Originally, this is not what I planned at all. My blog was called Not Field Hockey for a while. This project was assigned during the fall, during my field hockey season, and I felt like all I ever did was field hockey this, field hockey that, talking about field hockey, thinking about field hockey, playing field hockey. So I planned to try new things like, I don't know, baking, crocheting, yoga, I don't know. We just ran out of time for that. So I was previously gluten-free over the summer before field hockey started because they thought it might help with some health issues, and it was nice, but I really wanted to enjoy pasta parties, so I stopped. But I decided to challenge myself to eat gluten-free from January through March, and this is how it went. Oh, but first here are some of my ideas. Crocheting a sweater for my dog. Not exactly sure why I thought that was a good idea, but she survived the winter without the sweater. Project highlights. I learned a lot about food labels and what gluten is to begin with. Gluten is a sticky protein found in grains such as wheat, barley, and rye. So I had to buy different breads, pastas, granola bars, etc. Most people are gluten-free if they have celiac disease or sensitivity to gluten. It's not really, you don't really just diet, I don't know, it doesn't really help you lose weight if that's a goal or anything. But I decided to do it to see if it would help me again. I tried new recipes, which actually ended up being really fun because it was something I wanted to previously do in my original idea. I love Panera broccoli cheddar soup in a bread bowl, but obviously I couldn't have that anymore, so I found an alternative recipe for it, and it turned out to be pretty good. I also made these sugar cookies for Valentine's Day. They're like the ones you get at Giant in the plastic container with the really pretty icing. I love those, but couldn't have them. So I found this recipe online, and it was actually, the first time I made it, they were kind of gross, but the second time was much, much better. Some of the struggles I had was probably the biggest, not being able to eat donuts, because I have a sweet tooth, if you haven't noticed. Another thing I noticed was that buying gluten-free food was very expensive. I mean, groceries in general are expensive, but having to buy specific breads and chips, and if I wanted a gluten-free pizza, that was like 10 bucks for this little circle, so I don't know. It was a mess. Some days were really hard to stay motivated. There was times when I came home from school or track or the gym, and I just wanted to find something quick and easy to eat, and when we didn't have a lot of food in the house, that was hard. Another thing that I didn't think about when I started this project was when we go out for dinner, what do I eat, where do I go, all this stuff. So I did some research. We made a blog post about gluten-free restaurants and chain restaurants that have gluten-free menus. All you have to do is ask, and it became really easy and it was convenient. So when I went to Red Robin or Applebee's or Olive Garden, even Chipotle has one. So it ended up working out in my favor when we went out to eat with my family. Successes. The biggest success was I did stay gluten-free for those 3 months. I was really proud of myself, especially since it wasn't always easy. And these are just some granola bars that I found that are really good if you ever want to try them. Going beyond the classroom, I've never blogged before, and this was my first time, and I actually really enjoyed it. I think I could continue blogging. But I think what was most exciting was connecting with people on Twitter, and I could probably have done a better job reaching out to them. But a lot of people reached out to me with my hashtag gluten-free. I guess people do check it. And other gluten-free accounts or vegan or vegetarian accounts would reply to me or favorite my tweets, and I thought that was really cool. And lastly, I made a Pinterest board with all these recipes, and that was really fun. So if you ever want to try anything gluten-free, I highly suggest going on Pinterest to find a recipe. And what I learned. This is my very last blog post, and I'm sure it's kind of hard to read, so I typed it up on a slide. It's expensive. Again, that was a big deal for me. In the beginning, I craved normal food. I wanted a regular donut and not a gluten-free donut. But I actually got over it and I didn't mind eating the gluten-free foods that we had. School lunches were hard for me. There's not a lot of gluten-free options, but I do know if you have a doctor's note, the cafeteria will make you a gluten-free meal. Since this is just for a project, I didn't quite go that far. Assume your friends don't have gluten-free food in their house because you will starve otherwise. I learned that the hard way, so now I just bring a granola bar with me, just in case. Just because you're gluten-free, that doesn't necessarily mean you're eating healthier. Gluten-free foods have the same amount of sugar or fats or salts as normal foods, so you still have to watch that. And then some foods just weren't good. There was granola bars that tasted like cardboard, and it was just hit or miss sometimes. But once you found, I don't know, a consistent brand that was good, you just stuck with that. And I think the biggest lesson I learned was just, if you set your mind to something and push through the hard times, it's like worth it in the end, and that's what I found with this project for me personally. I was just really proud of myself. So, thank you.
Do you guys have any questions for Kylie?